What's cracking, people? It's your man, Cousin T, aka the Alpha Wingman, representing high-level technicians operating globally and beyond. So listen, today I wanted to post a response, yet another one, to a video that Ron Wills posted on his woman's channel. And the majority of the response videos that come from posts that he presents in that space uh, are due to the fact that he does not prefer that men comment or respond on his channel. So, if someone wants to preserve the sanctity of their world that they've created, what do? You build your own so that you can respond. I'm just kidding. But in any case, the podcast, A Man's Clothes Doesn't Indicate His Level of Success, I think was a really good video. And it really made me think about what the definition of success is. Now, before Ram goes into his particular subject, he gives a brief sort of surface definition of success. And I think it's sort of a mainstream thought about what success in a man's terms looks like. And basically, to sum it up, it states that stature is what defines a man's success. Now, what stature is basically how much status and resources a man has acquired as displayed in his clothing, his vehicle, his property, job, career, and all that other stuff. Now, for the sake of this podcast, my definition of success is when a man has achieved a level of masculine mastery that he has allowed himself and positioned himself to live life on his terms. Now, I say that definition because that means that he is starting from zero and can go in any direction that he chooses. It takes work to get to zero. And a lot of people who follow me on Patreon understand the concept of zero. Zero means that you can go either negative or positive, but you have positioned yourself to be able to move in a 360-degree manner, whereas the majority of people can only move one of two ways. So that's really what I mean by success, in defining that a successful man has positioned himself to live life on his terms. Now, in terms of women, there are three investments that will prove to be the three greatest investments that a man can make in his lifetime. I'm going to break down those three investments right now. The first investment is in his mind. Now, in this YouTube space, the Select Manosphere or the Alpha Manosphere, we talk about a range of subjects, but most of them come back to how we interact with women. And so when we think about a man's mind and how he invests in his mind through taking in content, by hiring, lifestyle coaches, by reading profound books, by having a mentor, everything that a man invests in his mind gets distilled down into what we refer to as his mouthpiece, or basically his verbal game, and what I call his ism. I'm not the first person to introduce ism. I just adapt that as a form of, communicating in your own language. And that is the first of the greatest investments that a man can make, investing in that ism. The second is the body. And this closely speaks to the response to what Ron Wills was talking about in his video about if a man's clothes don't indicate what his level of success is. So if a man has invested in his body, right, and there are countless methods of getting your body to being its optimal presentation, and that's what it means to invest in your body. If you're an endomorph, ectomorph, and mesomorph, getting the body fat down and your musculature established to a point where it's at its optimal presentation. It's not necessarily perfect. There's no such thing as perfection outside of perfectly dead, but it's optimal. It's an optimal presentation of who you are, and every single man has that potential. So when it's there, when you have your body at that optimal position, a man can basically wear a $2 shirt, literally, and drive women across a wide spectrum absolutely wild. Ask me how I know. The third most important thing that a man can invest in, as far as defining his success, is what I refer to as his essence. Now, some may call this his soul, some may say his spirit. Scientists refer to it as the intuitive aspect of a person, or their intuition. I call it your essence because when your essence is on and it's vibrating properly, your essence is what comes across to people and leaves that lasting impression that always leaves them wanting more. So your mind, body, and essence, those are the three most important investments that a man at any age, 18 to 88, can always be investing in, that will always turn out a return on investment. And the best thing about investing in these three options is that your return on investment will start to compound. And when it compounds, it multiplies exponentially. And you become this signature best version of yourself. And it's not saying that you're going to be irresistible to every single woman, but you will be irresistible to your type of woman. And that's one of the things that you discover when you invest in yourself. You'll discover the women that you like, the women that enhance your program, the women that work best in the world that you create. Because at the end of the day, why would you want a woman that disrupts? Why would you want a woman that tears down your world? Why would you want a woman that takes away from your progress? In short, why would a real man even want to be in the presence of a woman who takes away and limits his success? As always, this is your man, Cousin T, aka the Alpha Wingman, saying, stay sharp and mission focused. Later.